Here's a question that asks, how do we go about convincing the member of our family to do a cognitive assessment without upsetting them and thereby refusing or being more prepared legally? So I'm a big fan of talking to your family sooner than later. And I think before people start suffering a cognitive decline like dementia or some other deficiency cognitively, they usually can hopefully be more rational. And so I've done this with my own family members where I would say like, hey guys, how about we, first of all, go see an attorney if you're not one, and let's get everything prepared, because as we know, as we get older, sometimes things happen. That could be a stroke. I like to use stroke because everybody can relate. We've all known someone, unfortunately, that's had one, and it has nothing to do with gradual cognitive decline. And so you could say, mom, dad, spouse, whatever the case may be, listen, what if when you get older, you have a stroke and then you are left without capacity and we have to do a guardianship and that costs, thousands, if not over $10,000 to set it up. Like, we should probably have power of attorney, healthcare surrogate, living will, like all of those basic advanced directives. Young, old, rich, poor, we should all have them in place. And usually that's not a hard sell. So on the getting prepared legally, not a hard sell unless the person is already experiencing a cognitive decline and is trying to hide it from people. Sometimes that happens. Now, with respect to the other cognitive assessment, I always try to spin it. And listen, this doesn't always work. Everybody's different. But I always try to spin it as, let's get a baseline while you still have capacity and there's no issues. And if you pitch it to them that way, quite often they will agree. They're like, yeah, I'm fine. I'll show you I'm fine. And we get them in there and get a cognitive assessment. Hopefully they are fine. If so, we repeat it every 6 months to 2 years as necessary. And then we will see if there is a cognitive decline over time. But getting them in there to do the initial assessment, you can just say, listen, mom, dad, listen, I love you. And what if, God forbid, you get dementia in the future? Like, we don't know when or if that may begin to affect you unless we have a baseline. So while you're still young and healthy, let's go get that baseline. Once you get that report back, if it says something that we hope it doesn't, at least you have the information. From there, I would highly recommend bringing on a elder care manager. We used to call them geriatric care managers, but I guess that's not politically correct. They can often help our family members do the right thing and let them think it's their idea to do it. So that's my advice on this question. Have a great day.